anxiety, it's worse on computers than it is on paper, so every one of my tests have been on a computer, and it's making me depressed because if I get a bad grade, I'll just be angry or depressed all day long. Being a high schooler, freshman, and virtual is hard. People don't realize that, but it's hard.
I've been depressed, I'm not gonna lie, because everything's on a computer and it's like overwhelming just to see all the assignments you have to do on one screen.
Getting used to the new routine and everything and not being able to see my friends, not being able to go to school every day, it was hard, especially in the beginning, but I feel like I kind of, like I said, adapted to that.
The social media platforms that I and my friends also have allows us to be on a group call and often video chat with each other. There was a bit of a time where I just wasn't doing that, and I did start to feel a bit more down.
My mental health really, it went down the drain, like completely. And I've never gotten low grades in classes before, but I started getting like C's and not turning in on my work.
About December, I was just burnt out from online school and not having connections.
Being social is very good for your mental health. It's not good to just, like an hour or two a day, yeah, you can be by yourself and just do your own thing, but it's good to talk to other people. Because you don't want to keep that stuff. You don't want to keep that stuff to you. If you're dealing with something, you want to be able to talk to somebody.
I think it's affected my mental health where I'm just like more concerned about like everything. I'm just like focused on like schoolwork a lot because I'm like, well, what else like is there to do?
I'd say I have really bad social anxiety, and so the pandemic has kind of worsened that.
Around the summertime, it was really rough, you know? That's when everything first got thrown at us. We didn't really know what was coming. We didn't know when we would see people, what we would be able to do. That was really difficult, and I'd say I entered like a low time in my mental health.
Communication with each other can really make a big impact on our mental health and our, well-being in general, just our happiness.
You know, I can talk about some things that, I'm struggling with, and they'll talk about some things they're struggling with, and we're just, we're there for each other and making sure that, we know that we have somebody both ways. Of course, I'm getting impatient especially with this school year. I feel like it's been the longest one, even though it's really been the shortest.
The reduced schedule is so good. Just 2 hours off for morning and afternoon makes it to where I'm more focused in class. I'm not mentally drained to the point that I still can do stuff.
You have more time to do what you want at home, but also I had a really hard time adjusting to online everything. It's been really tough because I'm such an hands-on learner. It's hard to say, here, watch this video and learn from it.
But I actually was excelling better, I feel like, in my grades and stuff than I had been in the past. But I feel like the virtual, it gave you notes and easy stuff that you could look at, so it'd help you a lot better with your grades and stuff.
When you're going to school, 2 days a week, Mondays and Tuesdays, I'd be, working outside and doing that type of thing, and then doing most of my work at nighttime, so.
Generally speaking, you can do work a bit more on your own time and learn to just make and manage your own schedule throughout the day.
Lack of communication. When you have a question, asking a teacher, it's a lot more difficult when you're emailing, but it's better now that we're in school.
As a senior, you look forward to that first day feeling of everyone here, the crowded hallways, the hype before the football games. And because of it being virtual, we didn't really get that opportunity. You got to see your classmates through a Zoom meet.
Advantages would be you always have it, typically, because you go everywhere with your technology.
Disadvantages is you don't get that full connection with your teacher or with your classmates because you're just on a screen.
You can't really ask a question the same over email as you can in person, so that part was kind of hard. I mean, you could set up Zoom calls, but even there is still, it's not the same as being in person, being able to, kind of show things, explain things. So I think that was definitely a big challenge.
On a normal day, you'd just be going to school, coming home, and like going to your room or whatever. But since the quarantine, you had to like stay with them in the same like house for so long, you learn to talk to them more.
So I feel like as a consensus, everyone struggle with this. You know, you can tell it takes a little bit out of everybody. But I feel like, at least in my friend group and my family, that we're there for each other, and that's a big important part, and that keeps us up a little bit.
I feel like it made me a little closer to them, and it especially made me appreciate them. And it makes me appreciate all the teachers even more because they're kind of going the extra mile.
It was my English teacher, and it was the class I was struggling in the most. We talked after class a lot, and she'd be like, no matter what's going on, like, I'm here to help you with whatever you need.
You know, sometimes it's a little bit more intimidating talking to your parents just because, you know, you feel the age difference. It's more comfortable talking to, you know, people your age, and just because, you know, you kind of feel like that they're in the same spot as you are.
They don't know what I look like. They don't know what I sound like, barely, because I'm on a computer all day. So it's not like it was last year where you were face-to-face with your teachers and you could make that connection with them and feel more comfortable around them asking for help.
When you do get to reach out to your friends, just knowing that they're kind of going through that same thing, it kind of does feel like, oh, I'm not the only one.
I think this has brought us so much like closer together. I think that like now we like understand each other more and like understand like why we do certain things.
I have a relatively large family. That definitely made it to where the whole pandemic and quarantining was not that bad for me at all.
I asked my parents for help and advice on how to calm down, and then I would like go for a walk or I'll step away for an hour.
I've definitely gotten a lot closer with my sister because we used to not be super close, but now she's like my best friend.
Like Saturdays and Sundays I call as like me days, like I sort of like relax.
I try to take time for myself occasionally to just, you know, read a book or watch a movie, call a friend, you know, just time where I just focus on being happy, you know?
When I need time for myself, I just take time for myself. And I get distracted very easily, so I put headphones in, do my own thing. Somebody needs me, I help them out.
I'll go on like a walk, or if I feel like it, I'll just like go like work out or something, because I can like really like get my thoughts out there.
My teachers have been really supportive. They have just helped push me when I felt like technology was getting the best of me.
We have like little get-togethers, there's like 4 of us. We have like theme parties, like 2 times a month. Like we have Mafia night, and where we all just as like Mafia members. And then we had like a Halloween party, and then we had a Christmas party, and then we had a Nerf gun war.
I do dance, competitive dance, and I go like 4 days a week, and it's been really helping me. And right now we're working on like a show. I'm in theater and choir as well, and band. But just music has been such an escape because you can block out the world, and just music has helped so much.
I do think that social media can be kind of a toxic thing, but I feel like last year, in a way, it almost helped me. It gave me that sense of, you know, being around people without actually being around people and staying in touch.
I feel like if people had a bit more empathy, this thing could get done a lot quicker. And it's kind of brought out a lot of empathy in myself.
A general mix of productivity throughout the day, working out, and just relaxation with video games or just talking with family or friends. My body and mind feel really good after all that is said and done. That, and if all else fails, therapy. That is something that I could not recommend enough.
I found that I love painting. Watercolor painting is a peak hobby of mine.
All I did was watch TV, but now I did the swim team, I was on the swim team. I dance now, and I do puzzles and stuff a lot more. Like I don't really watch TV as much as I did.
I just discovered, you know, some new kinds of music and, you know, my appreciation for music, because that was a big thing, you know, just listening to music.
Well, I am becoming very confident in myself. I've always been doubting myself, and this year it's made me more confident in everything that I'm doing.
I'm capable to do more things than I thought I was. I sold myself short, and I just didn't put effort where I needed to. But now that we've had to deal with this, I've found out more about myself, that I can do those things than what I thought previously.
One big thing is, if you can, surround yourself with people who care about you, someone who can give you a love tap in the direction you need to go. That is very beneficial, whether that's a friend, a teacher, or a coach.
It's really important not to take little things for granted in your everyday life. I didn't realize how much I really, really loved just coming to school and seeing everyone every day, you know?
Try every elective at the high school. You might not think that you belong, and you might not think that it's for you, but you will find something that clicks, and that's your type of path to go down.
Keep your close friends, but make sure they're the ones that are going to point you in the right direction, and focus on your schoolwork.
I would say definitely get a group of people that you feel like that you can talk with, and can be there to support you.
If you're like somewhere by yourself all the time, then you get in your head and you start to overthink things. So it's good to have other people around to talk to.
I promise you, there are tons of people who know what you're going through and have dealt with the same exact thing. And you always have people to reach out to. And high school's not as scary as it looks. Everyone makes it seem like it's super scary, but it's not.
Try to have like a couple of friends like around you like all the time that you can like always talk to. Because like sometimes your parents like don't really understand the problems you're going through.
It's easy to feel like you don't have anybody to talk to, but just finding a teacher, a friend, a parent, grandparent, I know they'd be willing to listen.
Take it one day at a time, ask help where you need help. If you're struggling, that's okay. It's good to struggle sometimes. If you don't struggle, you won't learn.
Other people know how you feel. Everyone's affected by this. A lot of people feel isolated, both physically and emotionally, because we've been isolated, at least to an extent. So a lot of people feel alone, but you're not.
If you need help, you need to ask for it, because no one's going to know what you're thinking. No one's a mind reader. They're not going to know how you're feeling or how you're doing mentally or emotionally. You may feel like a burden, but trust me, you're not.